Hello folks and welcome back. This is Norethnian of Norethnian's Game Space, and what you're seeing right now is a bit of a montage of what I've been able to do when my computer is actually deciding to function, and a broad depth of some of the games that I enjoy playing, whether it be from time to time or on a consistent basis like with Space Engineers. Right there is my main character, a lore master named Thyranth on the Brandywine server of Lord of the Rings Online. And as soon as I grab the loot, and ding, there we go. That was a solo turtle run, and this is Terra Firma Punk. Although I'll admit, I took some of the mods out of Techno Firma, like the weather and Thumcraft. So that way, you know, it's a little more of a mega mod pack, and I really like it. Terra Firma Craft is my favorite modification for Minecraft. So you see me on a map, and I'm just, you know, scouting around, gathering resources. Early stage, I'm still stone tools at this point. And thrilled that I finally found some bismuth. Now all I need is that stupid sphalerite, so that way I can make bismuth bronze. I better bookmark it while I'm here, Continuing on from there, and we're heading off to Star Trek Online in 3, 2, 1. Believe it or not, I didn't think I was the only one in this up until I got to this one. So you get an idea. This is my main character, Dar. He is a fleet admiral. His favorite ship is the Odyssey, although he has been known to fly a Yamato Dreadnought. I'll be quite honest, like I said, I didn't think that I was soloing this one, but I did. Not that it's hard with a 30k DPS cruiser. You're not going to see a lot of Star Trek Online past the Adventures of Billy Slackner simply because endgame is boring. It's only a DPS race anymore. There's no need for a tank like what Dark is. There's no need for science for the crowd control abilities. It's all about how much DPS can you pump out. And so, you know, it's really lost a lot of the attention. I think I could really have some fun and hate with that, but that hasn't made it. It's still fun once in a while just for the cathartic tank everything while doing stuff that even a couple years ago I wouldn't have been able to do. Finishing up, I should need another 2 seconds. Good stuff. Just have to grab my loot and recall the sunset. Test 5. Playing War Mage again. She's my highest level character, and to be quite fair, she's so filthy rich it's not great. It's not funny. And she's already mastered Destruction Magic once, so taking advantage of that legendary bit. Derp, 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 derp. oldie but a goodie. Specifically if you loved the Ultima series, and what you're seeing here is me trying to get back into a little bit of Ultima 5 Lazarus. Ultima 5 is like my third favorite Ultima, and Lazarus definitely did it did it well as a remake. Despite the fact it's on the original Dungeon Siege engine, and getting that to work on Windows 7 or 10 is 7, 8, or 10 is difficult at best. But I managed it. In between, you know, random reboots and stuff. So you see, I'm still within the first hour and a half, 2 hours of the game, because I just picked it back up and my old saves are no longer there. New computer, effectively.
Of course, Avatar.
And I always like to push combat whenever possible.
Vultures will pick thy bones.
And excellent. Now, the last bit is something that I'm actually going to go quiet on, is a preview for something that I've been working on for Crash Survival. Now, that's the big question, isn't it? Crash Survival. You know, you're doing all this other stuff on occasion, but where's Crash Survival? Well, no other players, so I've got to try to resort to other things, such as throwing a ton of sensors and override gyros on fighters, and seeing how they don't work in this case. Alright, well, this was actually done earlier this week because trying to run Space Engineers during 1.44 or 1.144 stable, it was anything but stable. You know, 3 out of 4 launches crashed either right away or at the menu. 3 out of 4 successful launches crashed or rebooted when I loaded into a map or into a server. And 3 out of 4 of the successful loads that didn't crash ended up crashing within a few minutes. So I definitely had some issues in the last month even running Space Engineers semi-reliably. You know, when I can't even get onto this map without it crashing 9 times out of 10, yeah, it's rather difficult. So, just saying. Now, Crash Survival is ongoing, and I apologize for the last month, but when nothing's running and it's, yeah, it's not good. Anyway, I hope that some of the issues, if I can't get some other people on the server to, you know, fly other ships against me, or whatever it needs to be, I'm hoping I can get some of this stuff like, you know, autopiloted sensor-operated drones to do some of the attacking. So that way I'm just not just flying around beating on static ships that are doing absolutely jack all. You know, that they're actually, you know, trying to maneuver to get their guns on me and stuff like that. So, you know, because we're getting into the last 2 episodes, and, you know, it's gonna have to go from there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And regardless of either way, let me know how I can improve. Whether either it's, you know, what I need to do or what I don't need to do, as it may. And I will see you guys next time.